Welcome back to The Average Drinker. I'm Dara, I'm your average drinker, and it is time for another whiskey review, and holy freaking moly. Have you seen this Knob Creek 18 box? I'm sure you probably have by now, but it is freaking cool. I love it. Every time I see whiskey in a box, like, I don't care if it's a gimmick or not, I think it's really cool. I think it's fun that they do extra presentation for certain bottles. I mean, like I said, who cares if it's a gimmick? They got me. They reeled me in. They're like, here's the line, hook, line, and sinker. That's me. Yeah, they got me. But I love the box. I love the presentation of this one. The Knob Creek 18. This one comes in at 100 proof. Really, really super freaking beautiful. So after all of the really good older whiskey that has come out this year, I'm kind of anxious to see where this lands amongst those other really good whiskeys, right? I mean, I'm talking Calumet 16. We have Elijah Craig 18, Lucky 7 14 year, the proprietor. So many great older whiskeys have been released this year. Some are higher in cost, some are lower in cost, some are higher in proof, some are like similar in proof. So I'm really curious to see where this lands amongst those because, well, I've heard some great things. I've tried it myself. Now let me tell you what I really think about it. Let's dive into this. As always, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Cheers to you. Cheers. Let's do this thing. So right off the bat, I noticed this one is a very nice dark color. It's a nice fall amber color. Gives me those dark woodsy vibes. Now let's smell this sucker. Here we go. On the nose. Wow. On the nose, this one is like vanilla, cream soda, oak, like not over oaked, but definitely oaky. It's definitely oaky right off the bat. A little bit of sweet, but not too sweet. Tiny bit of like a milk chocolate in there somewhere. Overall, it smells really, really freaking good. It smells very balanced, it's very balanced. Like if I had to think of a nose, it's not gonna be sharp. Doesn't burn the nose hairs, but it has like a good amount of complexity right off the bat. That's what this is. I really enjoy it on the nose. It's great nose. It's a great nose. All right, now let's taste it and see what happens. So right off the bat, I get a huge rush of oak. Not like a dry, bitter oak. It's kind of like that sweet vanilla oakiness. Really nice, like almost like a French vanilla ice cream. Creamy for sure. Very creamy, but not overly sweet, not overly bitter. Just really, really super freaking balanced. Like this one is very balanced. Let me take another sip here. Caramels. Definitely can taste that really like rich oakiness though, that just kind of winds its way through the palate, like the front of the palate, the middle of the palate, and then on the back, it just kind of flows off of there and disappears off into the distance. There's not a whole bunch of proof on this one. It's at 100 proof, so it doesn't drink hot to me at all. It's very delicate, very sweet, refined, balanced. It's very like it's super crushable too, by the way. Super, super crushable, but I do not want to be crushing a 100 proof 18-year-old whiskey. I want to be able to sip on it and enjoy it. And this is just super crushable. It is, yes. Overall, it's very good. I really enjoy it. Some parts of it I like a little bit more than others. Like, I'm not wowed by this. And that's one thing that I was really hoping for. Like, I get the caramels, the vanilla, the French vanilla, the oakiness, not overly oaked, not overly bitter. Like I said, super balanced, but nothing that's going, wow, this is an 18-year-old whiskey. Everybody needs to run out and buy it. Holy freaking moly. Is it good? Yes. Is it delicious? Yes. But it doesn't have that boom, wow. Ooh, the more I sit here and sip on it, I'm getting some good amount of like a little bit of like a tobacco leaf on the finish that I really like that's sitting there. It's like an oaky tobacco leaf, like you set in your garage and your grandpa was smoking a pipe with like French vanilla tobacco. That's what this is. makes me think of my grandpa's shoes, like the leather shoe polish. Yeah, that's there too. Like that leather, I don't know what that's called. It comes in a white little bottle, and my grandpa used to put it on his shoes, but it kind of gives me some of those vibes too. Not in a negative way. That's just what I get out of it. But like I said, this one doesn't blow me away. It's not the greatest thing I've ever had. It's not the most amazing whiskey I've ever tasted, but it is very, very, very good. And that's why I'm going to give this one 4.25 corks out of 5. It doesn't quite reach to the level of, like I thought, Calumet 16, right? It's got a little bit more proof, not a lot. It's just got a little more boom behind it. This one just didn't have that boom behind it. And then of course, Lucky 714, your proprietor, had a lot more proof behind it. And I think that's the one thing that this is kind of lacking. Like if this had more proof, oh my gosh, I'd probably not drink another thing. Like, okay, that's not true. That is definitely not true. But I think the proof is where this one's missing. Proof and a little more richness, right? A little more in your face. But that's what I like. I like it. Now I'm curious to know what you guys think of it. Let me know in the comments if you've tried it, if you're gonna try to find this one. This is one we were really excited to find because it was on that list of allocated things we were searching for. We did find it. So there's that. Now, I got another thing for you, so don't leave just yet. I've got a blind I'm gonna do. I am really curious to know how the Knob Creek 15 stands up next to the Knob Creek 18. They're both 100 proof. They're just 3 years apart. I'm just super freaking curious. So I had Bill pour me a blind. I'm gonna set that to the side. Take a sip of my water. Oh yeah, I'll pour the glasses in front of me. I am just curious to see if I still think the same thing. Like if I think 15's better than 18. Blinds are always very telling, right? That's the fun part of this. I love doing blinds because you never know what you're gonna get. The other day, I totally screwed up a blind. I was like, this is this bottle and this is this bottle, and then I got the numbers flip-flop on the lower third, so sorry about that. All right, so squirrel moment there. We got the blind in front of me. Glass number 1, glass number 2. Gonna start with glass number 1. Color-wise, actually I'm just gonna look at them. They look very similar color-wise, so there's that, whatever that means. Now, let's start with glass 1. This one smells sweeter than what I just smelled, I think, but overall, I'm just going to ignore what I just did and just focus on glass 1 and glass 2 and see what I think. Pick a winner. All right. On the nose, this is sweet, lightly oaky, vanillas, caramel. Smells good. It smells very good. Let's take a sip. Oh yeah. It's like that oak bomb right up front. It's like a huge boom oak. Then it kind of flows into some like caramel, vanilla sweetness. And then it just kind of fades away with the oak and the caramel and the sweetness. Still very delicate, very nice. Ooh, a little bit of that tobacco on the back end that I like. A little bit of that just really soft and delicate. Really, really soft and delicate. Nothing that's gonna get in your face and be like, bam, I'm here, girl. I'm gonna slap you in the face. No, none of that. So overall, glass number 1 is really good. I mean, I knew it was gonna be good. Would I think it was gonna be bad? No, I love both of these bottles. So here we go. Let's move on to glass number 2. Wow. Kind of want to compare them. So glass number 1 smells a little bit sharper to me compared to glass number 2. Glass number 2 is creamy as heck. It's like very, very creamy, vanilla, oak but not over oaked, a little bit of milk chocolate. Smells good. Now let's taste it. Dang. This one has a little bit more sweetness and a little bit more depth. Like if that makes any sense. It feels like it just like goes a little bit richer. A little more, yeah, definitely a little more sweetness on the back end compared to my first sip of glass 1. But so far, I like glass 2 over glass 1 just a little bit more. I think if I was gonna say, I don't wanna say either of these are bitter because they're not bitter at all to me. But glass 1 seems like it has a little bit more of a bitter note and a less of a sweet note within it. Like almost like instead of milk chocolate, like glass 2 tastes like to me, like milk chocolate, nutmeg, caramel, vanilla. Glass 1 seems to have a little bit more like of a dark chocolate and a little more vanilla, caramel, same kind of similar flavors. Let's kind of go back and forth here, see what we think. But yeah, that's definitely what I'm getting. Glass number 2 just tastes a little bit more sweeter. That's a great way to describe it. That dark chocolate versus a milk chocolate, right? You get something a little bit sweeter, you're still getting the chocolate and you're still getting that flavor in there, but oh yeah. Okay, I got a winner. That wasn't too hard. I'm going with glass number 2 over glass 1. Now let's find out what they are. Ooh, sorry, I had a piece of hair stuck in my eye and it has been driving me insane. Okay, so I said I like glass number 2 over glass 1. Glass number 1 is the 15-year and glass number 2 is the 18-year. So I did pick the 18-year over the 15-year. Sorry, I was hoping that it would go the other way just so I could be like, this is a little bit cheaper. And by a little bit, it's like $60 cheaper, I think. I think this one runs about $170 and the 15 runs about $105. So depending on where you are, I did pick the 18 over the 15. Interesting. It's just, they're both really good. One just had a little bit more bitter note to it. Not even bitter is not a good word, but a little bit more like dark chocolate. And the other one had like milk chocolate. Both great, both delicious. I loved them. Tell me what you think if you've had the opportunity to try both of them. I'm super curious. Wow, just banged the table. Super curious. As always, I really, really appreciate your support. So grateful for you. I'll be back with so much more of The Average Drinker. I'm Dara, and I'll see you next time.